So, so Mr. Pastor Garcia, shout out. I talked to him yesterday. He's going to come on the show on Friday.
Coming to visit.
Axel's uncle. And
isn't that wild?
Isn't that wild?
It is. Axel's uncle's coming to see it, and Axel won't be here Friday.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I want to do this because anyway, because you're the closest one. But like he's got big news. Well, let's not. I don't know. Let's let him tell it.
Let's do
Let's
that.
let him tell it. So let's do that.
But you've got another event that you're real interested in, and our good friend Edie Hand is involved with.
That is correct. So the Women's Leadership Alliance. This is a Chamber of Commerce event. It's an annual celebration with Edie Hand. She's the keynote speaker. She's a businesswoman, media personality, filmmaker, and author. So this is going to be held at Hotel Capstone on Tuesday, December 2nd, from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I won't be on the show that day.
Well, it's a great program, number one. Our good friend Edie, and yes, you need to be there supporting her and encouraging her as you always do. And so we'll just have to keep promoting it. All you ladies out there, you want to be part of this event.
You do, yes. This is going to be a big networking event. So again, just go to westalabamachamber.com to get your ticket. You can get a single ticket, or you get a table for 8 people.
You bought your table?
Well, my understanding is Town Square's got a table, and I'll be sitting at the Town Square table.
Certainly hope so. Town Square should be involved, and
they are involved.
I suspect that they are.
Which is we appreciate that.
We love Edie, and she's a great partner,
I love you, Edie.
and she's a good friend of all of us. So.
No doubt.
Great speaker too, by the way.
Yeah, we are, however, up against a break.
That's right. We are.
So, guys, you've been listening to the Noon Show on FM 100.1. Don't go away. We will be here right back. Should I have read that other thing before the break? No.
No.
When should I?
When I come back, I'm gonna do a normal commercial, and then I'm gonna say, by the way, there's a new sponsor in town at Town Square Radio, and then I'll switch to you.
Switch to me. Okay. Hi, Lee. How are you? My name's Lisa. Lisa Jones. Hey, I know your mother.
Yeah.
Ashley. How is she doing, by the way?
She's a trooper.
Yeah.
Broke her arm in half, twice.
Yeah,
That's
I
what we
texted
understand.
her yesterday, let her know you're coming on the show. And
yeah,
I'd heard there's somebody else at the gym. It's just kind of like a family type deal.
Sorry,
Ashley fell, and I'm like, my arm hurts just thinking about it. But she said she just started driving again, like last week.
Yeah, they ended up putting, she had a rotator cuff on the same side 10 years ago, and then when she fell at the event, it broke it in half in 2 places.
Oh, right. So that was at the sneaker ball, right?
She had a floater, basically. It was called a double break. So she fell, broke it here, broke it here. This piece was floating. She's lucky she didn't have any nerve, artery issues. Big time.
Yeah.
Very lucky. Ended up with 20 screws and a long plate. Move on down the road. I said, could be better than a
Come
hill.
back.
Here's a new sponsor, too, by the way.
What's that? Would you?
My wife's a new sponsor, by the way.
That's right. We were just talking about that.
We already know.
I've got an hour and everything to read.
We're
For
gonna be
that.
talking
I'm
about
excited
it.
about that. My daughter's been there several times, by the way.
Right.
Welcome back to the Noon Show right here on FM 100.1. And
welcome
thank you for
back.
being here. We have got a really, really good program today. You're going to need to stay tuned because it's a very important subject. Our good friend Lee Garrison is going to be joining us in just a minute. But before we get back to the show, we want to remind you that we have fantastic sponsors. And one of them is our good friends at Bryant Bank. And Bryant Bank has been a sponsor from the beginning of the Noon Show. They continue to be such a faithful sponsor, and we appreciate them so much. And, you know, if you're not a customer of Bryant Bank, you're missing an opportunity because the Bryant Bank difference is really, really important because they treat you like family when you're a customer. They treat you like they're your best friend. And they make the perfect partner for each one of us when we're dealing with financial goals and financial needs, their professionalism, but also when you're sitting across the desk from them, you're talking to a best friend. I mean, they just treat you like family. And so you want to get to know them. It's really easy. All you got to do is stop in at one of their great locations. Their main office is on McFarland Boulevard North, but they have convenient access in Northport, North River, and in beautiful downtown T-Town, where Lisa and I will be on this coming Saturday, which is homecoming.
Roll Tide.
You come
Yeah.
by the Bryant Bank this coming Saturday beginning at 9 o'clock. Lisa and I will be kicking off our show about 10 o'clock, looks like. And it's a gathering of the community. Come to Bryant Bank, watch the homecoming parade, come on by and have some fun, yell Roll
It's
Tide.
going to be a party. Don't forget all those
party.
giveaways we have.
We have got
25 giveaways from
giveaways.
Bryant Bank.
And
They're
I
so generous.
found
Yes.
out this morning 4 of them are going to be a little bit special. They got some extra stuff out.
Ooh.
That's what I heard this
I
morning.
need to get that update.
Yeah, I just got it this morning. It
Oh,
sounds
wow.
exciting. But
Yeah.
you guys come on by, come in this Saturday, enjoy the fun, enjoy the homecoming parade, and don't forget to go by and see our friends at Bryant Bank. Tell them Lisa and Johnny sent you, and remember they are an equal housing lender and a member of
FDIC.
Go see our friends at Bryant Bank today. And Miss Lisa,
Yes.
it's kind of exciting that we understand there's a great new sponsor here at Town
There is a
Square.
great new sponsor. Before I get to that, I
And
just
Lee
want to
Garrison's
I just
got
tell
a
everybody-
little connection.
tell Lee Garrison's also making notes over there on
He
this
is.
Bryant Bank pen.
Yes, he is. Right there.
But Lee Garrison does have connection. This is his wife's business, right?
Yeah, Missy,
I want to tell you about it. I'm going to lead in with a question. Are you
why
ready?
don't you do
Are you
that?
ready for this?
I am ready.
Okay. Up your seatbelt. Ready?
Let's rock.
Are you ready to indulge in modern luxury and rejuvenate your senses? Discover where glamour meets state-of-the-art wellness at Logo Salon and Med Spa. Our team of expert professionals is dedicated to enhancing your natural beauty and overall wellness. Visit us today and discover a new level of luxurious self-care. Logo Salon and Med Spa, where modern luxury is combined with an inviting atmosphere to create an unforgettable experience. And I have got some testimonials about Logo
Yes,
Salon.
you do.
Let me tell you
told me
something.
about this.
That
yeah.
is the premier place to go in town for. Let me just say, it's like, I can always kind of call it the Kardashian effect a little bit because these girls in school, and I'm generalizing, but I swear they all do it. Middle school all the way up through high school, they got to go get their hair done, Lee. They have these special events like the dances, homecoming dance, whatever, prom,
Christmas parties.
all kinds of
Mhm.
there's all kinds of events. And the standards these days really are they simply have to get their hair done. In some cases their hair just depends, their makeup too. It just and let me just say, guys, if you want to get into Logo Salon and get in in time before some people have photo shoots before their events too. I know that sounds so extra, but it's true. You have to call early. I mean, you need to get that down on your calendar. You got to call as soon as that event's put on your calendar. You need to go ahead and call Logo, because I'm telling you, over and over, I'll take my daughter and all of her friends are there, and then some of them more coming later. Some of them were there before us, and it's a scramble. It's kind of there's competition to get in there. So I'm just gonna say this is real. It's with the young girls these days. You just got to get in there, get it on the calendar early, so you have your preferred appointment time. They do a great job.
And to Lee and Misty, welcome to the Town Square family.
Yes.
We're happy to have you, and we're just a small part, I understand, of doing a little bit each day with you, but we welcome you.
Yes,
Well,
welcome.
Great folks.
Unbelievable group y'all have here. And, we've been talking to y'all for 6 months or so
Yes.
now, and just trying to dial in exactly what we needed. And we had been with different marketing companies. We've been in business since 2018, started out as a salon, added a med spa 3 years ago. And we've had internal marketing that we did it ourselves. We've contracted with folks out of town, in town, and, there's no doubt about it, based on y'all's wraparound services from the local, which is the radio, the thread, and all the things that y'all can do here locally, but also what y'all can do digitally.
Yeah.
Y'all are working on rebuilding our website. You're helping us with Google ads, Meta ads, SEO, all the things that you need as a company to succeed
That's right.
at a very reasonable
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
So it's an investment for us.
Absolutely.
And we are so glad that we have finally pulled the trigger. We've got a great team at Logo that's working with y'all's team.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all make it seamless. Steven's kind of our quarterback
Yes.
to make sure that all the three buckets that we work with, from digital to the paid ads to the local and the radio, We're so proud, Misty, and we're a Christian-based salon. I mean, we don't hide anything about it. And we have a prayer bowl in the front desk. And anyway, so being on 1017 the river, and Misty's going to get on there with DC soon, and that was very special to us to be able to be a part of that launch.
Well, the invitation to come and visit us anytime on the Noon Show is wide open, and we wish you the best. And thank you for bringing it all home to Town Square and keeping it local with us.
Yes,
We appreciate that. Lee, we appreciate you being here today. I know how busy you are. Before we get started on the subject, tell us about your new career opportunity. You've got a new thing going on too. Tell us a little bit about the firm you're now leading.
Yeah, so you some folks, my wife's been out there in public, some good, some bad, but hey, we all have our good days and bad days. But I woke up this morning, and that's kind of what I pray for these days. At 51 years old, I just turned 51, by the way. So, but yeah, so
I remember when you were 22.
I know, I know. And my dad was trying to keep me on the straight and narrow and figure out how we're going to channel this energy. And my daughter's the same way, so look out for her.
Well, just so you know, your mother talks about you with a gleam in her eye.
Well, I appreciate that. She's been very supportive. But yeah, I graduated college when I was a senior, ran for city council, served 4 terms there. Lost my mind, so to speak, and ran citywide for school board chair. But I had a passion. We had some challenges in education during that time, as you remember, Johnny. And so, ended up serving 4 years on the school board, came together as a board and adopted a $250 million master plan that touched construction, athletics, which frankly is, I should have said it in reverse, academics, human resources, technology, then buildings, then athletics, et cetera. And then the next board improved it at 2.0. And so I enjoyed that 20-year public service career while I was also working with Duckworth Morris Insurance, which eventually was bought out a couple of times. And I just got to a point, in my career about 2018, after I left public office, that I wanted to maybe try something else. And so some of my friends at Fraser Lanier in Montgomery reached out to me and asked me if I'd be interested in doing public finance. And so I appreciated the opportunity they gave me. Worked for them since was licensed in 19, been on the road, been a part of, hundreds of millions of dollars in bond par issuances over the last 5 years, many here locally. We just recently financed the Savings Center. A lot of the road projects that you see, McWright's Ferry Road, that was part of the work that we did at Fraser Lanier. But at the end of the day, sometimes some folks come calling, and I had some folks coming and calling on me to see if I would be willing to bring a national, well-capitalized firm to the state of Alabama. And so I had multiple offers to do that, and it took me a year or so to kind of really figure out what I wanted to do. But I ultimately pulled the trigger last month, and appreciate again the time Fraser Lanier gave me. Alabama-based firm, great firm. But this firm is going to allow me the entrepreneurial freedom to locate the headquarters of Mesereau at the top of Bryant Bank in downtown Tuscaloosa. We're going to build out in that area of the space that they have right now that's not built out. They're starting construction soon. It'll be our office, maybe a couple of lawyers' offices, and some more offices from Bryant Bank. We'll have the balcony on our floor.
Ooh, that's
conference
nice.
Room. Be good for homecoming, right? Talking about what y'all were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going to watch the parade from, maybe.
We actually had an entrepreneur workshop in that.
We did in that conference room.
About a month ago.
Yeah.
It's a fabulous.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to do something a little bit smaller, a conference room on the 3rd floor, kind of a work south kind of place, but it's really going to be limited to me and maybe a lawyer's office. And I think they're going to try at least maybe a few more spaces, kind of like a work south place, but a little bit more a tighter group. So I think Mark Sullivan, Scott Phelps has been very instrumental in mentoring me through this process. I can't thank him enough. But anyway, so very, very, very fortunate that God has opened this door.
Pronounce the name of the company again.
Mesereau.
Mesereau.
It's based out of Chicago.
Okay.
In 1937, Mr. Mesereau got a seat on the stock exchange, and then the rest is history. So they're almost a 100-year-old company. It's 450 employees throughout the country. They're everywhere except for the South. They do have some wealth management offices in South Florida and in Tennessee. But as far as their public finance, their corporate finance, their credit lease back, all, if you want to build a shopping center kind of thing, you come to us. It's just, I'm still learning a lot of the verticals that we do, but we have 13 more verticals just besides public finance. And we can underwrite a deal. You know, I'm blue collar. I mean, I've done $1 million bond deal to help Vance with a sewer line, all the way up to hundreds of millions of dollars for the school system. And so, you know, we're gonna look to really make a splash in the state. The Business Council of Alabama, we're joining. The West Alabama Chamber, we're joining. All the school board associations, league municipalities. You know, we're going to be out there, and we're going to really work Alabama hard. But I'm also going to have Mississippi, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Arkansas, Louisiana. It's going to be fun.
Sounds like a real adventure.
An investment bank in Tuscaloosa,
Oh, yeah.
Alabama headquarter
Congratulations.
is a big deal.
Well, you've always kind of been cutting a path for a lot of good things. I can go back and talk about several things you've been the lead on. I still give this young man, who's still a young man,
Young pup, as Leroy Maccabee would call
Well,
him.
well,
Young
yeah.
Puck is that what you said?
Young pup.
well,
like
he,
puppy.
Young
and then he would look at
I
you
love
and he
it.
would say, lad,
Lad,
just got to get it done.
lad, just put the plow in the ground
Just
and
get
go,
it
son.
done. That's right. But
Yeah.
thank you for all you've done for our community. But we do want to go to an important subject that you've been leading. And the chamber, I want to commend the chamber for starting this effort, because after the referendum for the city schools didn't pass, you guys started thinking, okay, that's behind us. What do we do next? And out of that came the commissions on excellence education for our city and county schools. Thank you for the leadership. You've been working hard for the last year. Kind of let's bring everybody up to date. Kind of give them the genesis for this, how it started, and kind of where you are. And let's bring our audience up to date.
Will do. So when Cole Jameson was elected chair of the chamber for 2025, he selected his cabinet, and he selected me as vice chair of public policy and advocacy. And he said, Lee, I really want to focus on education. Start thinking about how we can do that. Take some of the relationships that you've built within the city and the county's leadership, whether it be an elected official, whether it be a business member, whether it be a CEO of DCH, a pastoral community, parents, teachers, principals, you name it. And so I started getting to work early in the spring and sitting down with each one of these stakeholders. And so we put together one for the county, one for the city. They each meet separately. We've had 4 meetings now. Our initial meetings have concluded. They concluded on October the 27th. So this is fresh off the press. But by the time we talked last, September 22nd was the last meeting. So I've got some updates on that.
That's great. And Mr. Sunshine, I kind of ran us across the break, didn't I?
That's okay, Johnny Wright.
But, we've got to take a quick break, which will give us time to focus on what's happening now. What's next?
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss this, guys. You've been listening to the Noon Show on FM 100.1. Don't go away. We will be right back.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
No.
watching my clock.
These are, this is my monthly reports that I've turned in for our executive meeting and board meeting coming up this month. So, I'm going to basically summarize a little bit of what we did on the 22nd meeting and the 27th. And then basically what's going to happen, and I'll say that, is that this is going to live into 26. I mean, we're just now
Well, you
getting,
can get that.
oh yeah. I mean, the work that Joe Perkins and John Saxon and them have done, and the data systems that they've created through pulling data from Parka. He's created a database that Parkin even thinks that could be utilized in other communities.
Wow.
A unique database where we can take an input and try to match it with an output. So that's just saying, like, if we wanted to pick Brookwood High School and we wanted to click 3 different things, like what's the free and reduced lunch, what's the academic performance, it'll spit out the information. It's unbelievable. So we've got about 70 to 90 data points
Wow.
that we can pull from. We want to know this, like what's the free and reduced lunch? What's the reading percentage of scores based on what's been reported from the state and PARCA? So we're taking PARCA data, state data, AASB data, everything, making sure that it matches, putting it into the spreadsheet, putting it into the database, and then asking the AI a question.
I was wondering if you use AI for that.
It's going to be unbelievable.
That is wild.
You can call us anytime live at 205-723-0731.
I won't get too in the weeds on that, but I do want to thank some of these people, you know, that
Welcome back to the Noon Show right here on FM 100.1. Lisa and
Yeah,
I appreciate
welcome
you
back.
guys so much. And wow, do we have a great show today with our good friend Lee Garrison. We're going to get back to Lee and talking about the commissions on educational excellence right here in our community in just a second. But before we do that, let's remind you that the holidays are right on us, and we all need to be looking for those special gifts, those unique gifts. And there's only one place to go in Tuscaloosa, and that's our friends at Hudson Pool Fine Jewelers. And
Yes.
to Pooji and the team, thank you so much for serving our community so beautifully. And thank you for all you do for each one of us, because you help us put smiles on other folks' faces, because they've got a great selection of all kind of gifts. And I had a chance to do a little email back and forth with Gene this morning. Happy beach time, my friend. Hope you're having a good time. And but folks, if you have not started your Christmas shopping, the first stop really is at Hudson Pool Fine Jewelers, right downtown Tuscaloosa, 1111 Greensboro Avenue. Go by and let that friendly staff, who are so helpful, find that perfect gift for the coming holiday season. And don't forget, Miss Lisa, they got a little holiday cheer coming up, not too far away.
That's right.
Their little afternoon cocktail party on December the 4th, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And there's something else going on with that too.
Yeah. Well, they've got a Rolex truck show, and it's a for one day only. On Thursday, December 4th, they've got a huge selection of pre-owned Rolex watches.
Yeah. So all you guys that need a watch, put that on your Christmas list and tell Santa to let that special person know that you need to come by and see everybody on that afternoon, because there'll be a bunch of Rolex watches kind of staring you in the face.
Yes.
But anyway, folks, go see our friends. 40 years they've been in business, family owned, locally oriented, and such a great civic organization. I mean, they just do so much for our community. So go see our friends at Hudson Pool. Now, if you're out of town or you're one of those online shoppers, remember hudsonpool.com. That's hudsonpool.com, where you can find everything you need for that special someone and find that special gift for the holidays. So tell them Lisa and Johnny sent you,
Yeah.
and we'll see you down there soon.
No doubt. I was there yesterday looking around. That I was inspired by something Russell said. Russell Estes. He said, "Yeah, I just go shop there so I don't have to gift wrap." And so I can
That's
tell
right.
you, I mean, they've got gifts that run the gamut. You know,
They really do.
of the price range. I mean,
And you're
so
having something redesigned, I believe.
well, size.
Thinking
Yeah,
about
a regular
resize,
size. Yeah,
So
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Well, we encourage you to go see our friends at Hudson Pool. And let's get back to our good friend Lee Garrison. Lee has been leading the effort with the commissions on education excellence. So let's see where we're going next, Mr. Brother Lee.
All right, so just to give the community a summary, because some of y'all may be joining us that have not listened in the past to some of these reports. So we started late summer. So we had a July meeting, an August meeting, a September meeting, and an October meeting. And these were 1.5 hour meetings each, one with the city system and one with the county system. Although we did have members that served on both, like Katrina Kiefer from DCH, like the University of Alabama, Chad, the president at Stillman and Shelton. Pastoral community was invited. So obviously chamber staff. So we obviously wanted Alabama Power, Jill. I mean, the players that are the leaders in this community served on both. Then we took each one, the city system and the county system, and each superintendent, each chief financial officer, board members, county commission members on the county one. I could go on, parents, teachers, principals, the whole fabric of what would be within a school system. we found representatives. So we ended up having about 20 or so representatives from each group that was specific to that school system, and another 10 or 15 or so that served on both. And then, of course, we were fortunate to have Joe Perkins and Madeline in town with Matrix to work alongside the famous John Saxon, who is out of Birmingham. If you don't know him, he's got a deep history in solving problems for the state of Alabama, worked in the White House. He has moderated all of these. And so very professional process. Everything was dictated, recorded, so that we could come up with a comprehensive report for our subcommittees, which are now still meeting, which is taking some of the information that they heard from all 4 of the big meetings and dialing it down to really what is our top 10 list, our top 5 list? What do we want to accomplish, especially in 2026, because we see these commissions living on past 2025 into 2026 and possibly becoming a fabric of the chamber. It's been so successful. We've had such strong attendance, especially from parents and teachers, that are really where you need to hear from, but also administrators and elected officials and folks from the hospital. It all works together when we're talking about education. And you and I have talked about this, Johnny, a million times. You can have good roads, you got to have water and sewer,
Sure.
You got to have good public safety.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a great education system, you're not starting off with much. And so our young people we need to get them in school. We need to figure out where their bent is. And I had to learn that word the other day. What is your bent? Well, that's where you lean towards. Where's that child's talent? What's their God-given talent? Are they going to end up being a doctor, or maybe they're going to be a welder and making over $150,000 a year?
I want to applaud that effort too, because that is late in coming, in my opinion. I am so happy to hear about that.
Yes, and that is really kind of our workforce development is a key part of this. Gary Phillips has served tirelessly on both commissions, and he has been great, and he's been a leader in that. And of course, we are a leader in the state and the nation in workforce development with what Donnie does. And so we're marrying all that with these commissions. And so the bottom line is, in July, we basically got together with each commission, figured out where they wanted to see this process go, not dictate to them, make it a team effort. The second meeting, PARCA gave their report on each of our systems and how they see it based on the data that they've collected, which is non-biased, non-political, third-party data that nobody can argue with. The facts are the facts. Here's how you're funded. Here's how you're scoring. And hey, here it is. What are you going to do with it?
Yes, the metrics that you can't argue against. That's what you need. Sure.
That's right. And so then we had the September meetings where the 2 systems basically came and gave reports on how they were doing. What are they doing? They gave a comprehensive review of their system. Great attendance, like I said, lively discussions about their current and future plans, academic goals, and financial projections. Facilities as well. Both systems on Mark may have plenty of opportunities for growth and several challenges as well, as we all know. The systems share many of the same opportunities and challenges, yet they also have, as we all know, have their own unique and future opportunities and challenges. And so the city system is more funded. It's maybe not the best way to say it. I wasn't an English major. They are better funded than our county system. Our county is at the state minimum of 10 mills, and they struggle to do what they need to do. But let me tell you what, if you want to find a system that does a lot with a little, I've looked at their audits, they do a lot with a little. And so we are working with them to try to figure out exactly what we can do to help them, especially with some funding. There are some things that are going on behind the scenes right now to try to figure out how to support our county school system better without raising sales taxes. And that is our goal. The goal of this commission was not to sit down and figure out how to raise taxes. It was to figure out where we are, build relationships within these commissions so that sitting across the table is a parent from Katrina Kiefer. They never met before. all of a sudden they build a relationship. A superintendent, a school board, talking with a parent that they've never had that relationship. So just, we were talking, Kyle and Carl and I were talking and said, if the worst thing that comes out of these commissions, and I think I've said this on the air before, is that these individuals build relationships that they don't already have so that they have relationships to then solve problems outside of this commission. Maybe it's something that they work together in 6 months from now that we can't even see what that work is now. That is a great thing, and that has happened. So that is wonderful, and those relationships are being built. The final meeting was October the 27th, well attended. We allow folks to attend by Zoom if they can't be there. We're trying to access. These are public meetings. We've also had folks from the public that'll show up.
That's right, Charlie.
That's right. And I want to just say, Mr. Saxon moderated lively discussion at the last meeting, where the commission's work goes from here and the subcommittee's work go from here on each EEC. Will continue to work by bringing an executive summary to both the EECs very soon. We're getting towards the end of the year. We're getting towards the holidays. Time is going to be limited. So what we think is that, and we could tell from the commissions when we talked to them on October 27th, when we were just kind of doing a summary of all the work that has been done in the fall, is, hey, these groups need to stay a part of the fabric of the chamber. We can't just come together, figure out what we believe are our challenges and opportunities. Okay, we can talk about them. All right, how are we going to execute with detail to figure out some of the funding challenges with the county in their facilities? How are we going to execute with detail on how we increase reading scores? Reading scores are doing very well. The math scores are the ones that we're challenged with. But the Numeracy Act, that the legislature just passed, is supposed to take some of the same type approach that the Literacy Act did several years ago that has seen dramatic increase in scoring through all grade levels. So we're really looking forward to seeing what the Numeracy Act is going to do to increase our math scores.
Yeah, that's just fabulous work. This is people are going to look back on this time as a transformational moment for our community. I believe that, because you guys
I love
have
to
done
hear
such.
that all these groups are working
Oh,
on
it's
service as
just,
well.
just a beautiful, beautiful process.
It really is.
So we're going to take a quick break, Ms. Sunshine.
We are, guys. You've been listening to the noon show on FM 100.1. Don't go away. We will be here right back. That's incredible. Lee, get Johnny to explain to you
Excited.
that Carolyn Lassiter,
Oh, yeah.
Tuscaloosa
She's on
Education
it.
Foundation.
She's the Reading Allies
right.
representative on the group.
And Neighborhood Bridges.
And
She
Pam,
was-
yeah.
Neighborhood Bridges, everybody forgets about.
Yeah.
She was here, and tell them the idea that you talk about funding.
We want to do a benefit for the foundation.
We should do a
Noon
benefit.
show.
Uh-huh.
And we've got
Yeah.
access to a guy named, his name is Panini P. He is famous all over the Gulf Coast, but he's on the Food Network. He and Guy Fieri are close friends, and he knows all these people.
Oh, we're back.
I'll tell you that later. Welcome back to the noon show. That was a quick break, Miss Sunshine.
We were trying to explain something to Lee. He's like,
Talk-
we're back.
almost anyway, we're back, and thank you for joining us. This is great programming today. I hope you're really benefiting from our friend Lee Garrison and what's going on in our community. Before we get back to Lee, and want to thank another great sponsor, and that's our friend Ken DeWitt. Ken DeWitt is one of the best business coaches that you could ever meet. He makes a wonderful partner for you as a small business, an entrepreneur, or maybe you want to be an entrepreneur and don't know how to get started. Well, Ken uses the EOS system, which is the Entrepreneurial Operating System, which basically is a process to help you and your leadership team get traction. Traction in understanding your vision, clarifying your goals, understanding direction, how you put the team together, all the important things that make you more productive, more effective, and therefore more profitable. And that's what we all want. So you need to check out our good friend Ken DeWitt. He's on our show quite often, and you'll really, really appreciate getting to know him. He would make a wonderful partner for you and your leadership team. Check him out at eosworldwide.com/Ken-DeWitt. Go check out our friend Ken DeWitt today. You'll be glad you did. And Lee, you're just you're getting us all excited around here about what's going on. And I mean, this is a very, very important. I've had the great privilege of serving in this community a while. I don't think I can point to many initiatives that the chamber has done more important to this, because to your point, education is the core of who we are as a people and as a community. And you're right. If we don't have the educational infrastructure working, nothing else really matters.
That's right.
That's right. There's no question about it. And, the great part about it is, when the referendums failed, the one in the county, different reasons, probably from the ones in the city, we haven't passed a countywide referendum ever. I think it was 30 years ago we tried, then we tried again a couple of years ago. The city, we renewed our ad valorem when I was school board chair at the 15 and a half or so mills that we have, which obviously is, 5.5 mills higher than the county. And that 5.5 mills is a lot of money difference. And so, funding is a key component to education. Obviously, you have to have resources, but it's not just all about money. It's about what you're doing in the classroom, et cetera. But you also have to have a facility that's not falling apart for our young people to be in.
Yeah,
we
no
need
doubt.
we have to have great workforce development facilities, and our TC does a great job of that. And so also having systems work together and utilize resources together and work across the systems to benefit all students. Ultimately, there should be no lines in the sand. There's a city system and there's a county system, but at the end of the day, the child or young adult that is coming out and graduating, we're hoping to keep that talent in Tuscaloosa
That's
County.
right. Talent retention.
And we have a workforce shortage in Tuscaloosa County because we have so many companies that want to be here. Whether it be Pfeiffer, Mercedes, I could go on and on, from your restaurant to Maccabee Construction to Brian Harden Construction, and praying for that family. What an incredible human being that he was. But we have got to figure out a way, and we're doing it, and our systems are doing it very well. But I think within these commissions, we're telling these stories more to individuals that are sitting in these meetings that may not know exactly what the systems are doing. We have some of the largest landowners and real estate developers on these commissions because we wanted them to be involved. We did not want them to think this was just a conduit to figure out, okay, we're just coming up with a way to put out another referendum and get more of your money. We want to figure out what we're doing with our money now. What does it look like in the future? The state just passed a law that allows more dollars to go into certain buckets for students that are challenged economically, systems that are challenged transportation-wise. You look at our county system, largest county in the state. I think Rob Robertson says it's the size of Rhode Island. I mean, we got a lot of buses going everywhere. So there are some extra buckets of funds that the state allocated last year with the RAISE Act that is going to add multi-millions of dollars from what we can see right now to both budgets. They also
Well, that's good news.
It is good news. And it also raised the amount per pupil that goes into the general per pupil funding in the Alabama Trust Fund. So we are seeing more state resources. I think it's a $9 or $10 billion education budget. I think I remember when I was on the city council not too long ago, it was $4 or $5 billion. And so there are more resources coming to the state of Alabama. Yes, there's an argument on SSUT between the cities and the counties, and you're starting to read more about that. Hopefully that issue will get resolved, and hopefully education will start grabbing some more of that. That's one of the things I hear throughout the state. That's a political debate that the cities and the counties are going to have to solve with the legislature. The state's going to also have to give and take a little bit of that. But the internet tax is an important tax. It was really obscure years ago. Now it is a major funding source, and we've got to make sure that education is a big part of that. And the cities and the counties' general funds are also treated fairly. I'm not taking one side of the issue or the other because of my job. I get to just observe and try to support in any way possible. But I do think there are arguments, good arguments on both sides. But hopefully, again, that's why we have these debates.
Well, and to that point, let's just keep encouraging, because there is a divide between our cities and counties, but they're smart enough and ought to be mature enough to come together and find those common solutions. So it's an important effort.
It is an important effort. And I would just put in a little pitch, speaking of some of the money coming from the state. Guys, when you take your beach vacations, don't go to Florida. Stay here in the beautiful state of Alabama. Go to Orange Beach, go to Gulf Shores. Did you know that your tax dollars will go to part of the education fund, right? Can you explain that, Lee? I'm not articulating well.
No, you're doing it.
But we get to keep, this is for our children. You don't want, anyway, you know what I'm saying, but I didn't even know that until we did our coastal tour. They were explaining that. So a portion of those dollars will go to fund education for our children here in this community.
There's no question about
So it's
it.
a win-win. It's a gorgeous vacation. It's a great time, and you're funding education.
And to make that point even more, I order off Amazon. I'm sure everybody listening orders off Amazon. But I will say this, when you can shop local, there's no question
Yes, sir.
that our community and our schools will get more of that dollar than if you order off Amazon. So when you do have a chance to go to Publix or Walmart or a brick and mortar store in town, Bougie Pool, you name it, all the businesses that y'all support locally as well through y'all's advertising channels, do that if you can.
Absolutely.
I agree. I've never been in the world of economic development. This is new for me. I've learned so much since I came on the show. Buy local, buy local, buy local, buy local.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, if you're going to go online with a local business.
Correct.
That's
There's a
right.
way to funnel that, because that does still pay for someone's job, and they're going to spend money. So local, because it used to be, and I'm not sure the numbers are still the same, you spend local, it's going to turn out 7 to 8 times. Well, you want the benefit of all 7 to 8 times. You don't want it watered down in any way. So
Right.
but to your point, there are solutions.
There are solutions. I will say this, because I know we touched on it the last time I was here. We were looking at the positive things that could happen. The RAISE Act is going to be a net positive, we believe, for both of our school systems funding. We do believe the increase per pupil through just the general allocation of funding through the Alabama Trust Fund, the Alabama Education Fund, ETS, Education Trust Fund, is going to go up, and that will help. So those two buckets will help. Another thing that's helping is the Alabama law now is requiring all tax assessors in all 67 counties to reappraise every property every year instead of every 4 years. Okay.
That's
and they
right.
can
Yeah.
only go up 7%. So I'm sure everybody listening received their property tax bill recently. It probably reflected more of the value of your house than you've ever seen before. I know it did with mine. Matter of fact, I told my wife, I said, I hope I could sell our house for what they have it appraised for now. I remember talking with Carl Jameson, he said the same thing. But here's the thing, even though your appraisal value is now going to be more reflective of the value of your house, because more and more tax assessors are using AI for comps instead of sending somebody out in a pickup truck to appraise your house, you're going to see an accurate appraisal of your property.
I would rather have a person doing it than AI,
Well, I understand,
honestly.
but I'll say this. Once they can only go up 7%. So let's just say your property was assessed at $400,000 and now it's assessed at $700,000, or it was assessed at $200 and now it's at $400, which is more in line with what the market value is worth. Your tax is not going to go up that 1 year that amount.
Yeah,
They
right.
can only go up 7%. So a lot of these reappraisals that now have your home or your commercial property valued at market value, your tax will
Right.
only go up 7%. So it might take 10 years to get to that appraised value by going up that 7%. So look, at the end of the day, they're following the law now.
Sure.
And they really, frankly, appraising every corner of the county every 4 years was not getting an accurate appraisal. It obviously hurt education funding because they were lagging 4 years on each property. Now they're able to assess it at the market value. They can't go up at 7%. We are seeing a tick up in both of our systems in local funding because of that as well. And the
Okay.
last bucket of funding would be the Department of Education, which is still kind of hanging out there as far as where that's going to go.
Well, and when you have a lag of 4 years and then it comes around, it's a shock.
When I say Department of Education, the federal Department of Education that
Right.
we keep hearing that might be dissolved, whatever. But I want to let people know that most of those funds go for individuals in challenging environments, and a lot of that bucket of funding is really not going to change.
And to the point before we beat it to death. The new appraisal system does at least lead to some predictability,
Correct.
some continuity, and some consistency, and that's for all sides, whether
The
you're
payer or the
homeowner
receiver.
or whether you're receiver. So, Lee, you're an absolute champion for education, and what you're doing and the team that you put together. Thank you so much. You got to make a promise, though,
Yes,
that
sir.
after first year we get back together and we keep our audience informed, and we want to do that. And Lee, thank you, because I know it's a busy time for you. Best wishes with the new company and the new adventure. Thank you for being a part of the Town Square family now.
Yes, sir.
And give our friends, tell Carl and Kyle and all the guys down there that we do appreciate what's going on. So I just have to come back and visit again.
A couple of quick nuggets. Hayward Gould's going to be our new
New
chair,
chairman.
and we'll find out about the new cabinet. I'm hoping that I'll still be involved in public affairs in 26 and
Hope
carry
so.
this momentum forward. Want to continue to come on here and not just talk about West Education Commission. We got a couple of things we're working on that I believe the public will be interested in that are public safety related that the chamber's going to get
Oh.
involved with.
That's
And a
interesting.
few
Yeah.
extra nuggets is the Northport City Council was just inaugurated.
Yes.
Councilmember Dykes was elected president. Woodrow was elected pro tem. Great group of individuals that I think will lead to Northport forward.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook today, and looks like a great team. So
I love that. I want to put out a little call for action. If you want to help affect change and better fund our local schools, here it's super easy. Buy local, buy local, buy local. Vacation at, go take a beach vacation, go to Orange Beach, go to Gulf
Yeah.
Shores, stay in the state. That way your tax dollars goes further for
Absolutely.
our children and for everything that we have
great
funded in our
point,
state.
Sunshine.
Yes, and as a taxpayer, I wanted to say to you, Lee, thank you for letting us know that, in particular, our county school system is they're making really good use of their money, even though they're have less funding. But as a taxpayer and as a citizen of this community, I really appreciate that information, and thank you for everything that you do for this community. However, we are at the end of our show. It goes so fast, doesn't
It
it,
does.
Lee? And I'm going to have to close this out now. But before we go, I would like to remind everyone, don't forget to spay or neuter your furry friends and keep those tails wagging with up-to-date vaccinations. This is Lisa Jones signing off for the Noon Show. But before we go, I'd like to wish everyone a splendiferous rest of their day. See you on the radio tomorrow. Lee, we need a picture with you.
All right, yeah, all right.
We got a picture.
Great
Okay.
job, Brent. Great
Can
job.
we go down the hall and get a picture?
Yep, yep.
I'm not paying.